2/3 of the world's population owns a mobile phone, so it's not surprising that teens and young people choose to spend their life on it. The average person has 5 social media accounts and spends around 1 or 2 hours browsing these networks every day. The Telegraph and other sources agree that rather than relying on life experiences, travel and interaction with others, students are becoming more obsessed with social media. A student of Bellevue University believes social media gets in the way of studies. However, social media keeps her updated in the world's news. Today we're getting people's opinions if social media has an impact of students, school and home life and the effects of it being used in school.
How long have you worked here?
This is my 3rd year working in university.
Have you realised students getting distracted by their phones in class?
Unfortunately I have, yes. And if I've caught students on their phone, they usually are on social media, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, something like that.
Do you usually let students use their phone in class for educational purposes?
I don't usually until maybe 10-15 minutes at the end of the lesson when we play a game like a hoop, just to consolidate what they've done in the lesson.
Do you use social media in school or at home?
I don't. As you know, I spoke to you about this in a lesson, but about a year ago, just under a year ago, I felt that it was kind of taking over my life a little bit. I just catch myself at home just randomly scrolling through Facebook or just going on Instagram looking at lots of photos of other people, and then I sort of realised actually I'm kind of wasting my time doing all of this, so I got rid of my iPhone, got an old brick, and I've deleted all my social media accounts.
Do you think it has the same effect on students as well?
Absolutely. I think a lot of students, unfortunately, they get carried away in the world of social media. It's a huge thing, I do feel that a lot of people are sort of not really living in the real world anymore, and it's quite dangerous because they're looking at photos of beautiful celebrities and things like that who have obviously spent a lot of money either on themselves or on makeup, doing themselves up, looking incredible. And there's a lot of pressure, particularly on young girls, but also young boys, to look, there's Photoshop used as well, of course, to look amazing all the time. And you just see amazing parts of these celebrity lives all the time. You don't see kind of what goes on behind the scenes and the negative stuff. So there's a lot of pressure on young people to look amazing and be amazing all the time, and it's unrealistic.
Overall, do you think it has a positive impact on student, school and home lives?
Overall, I would say it doesn't. There are a lot of benefits to social media. I think, things like that there's some powerful hashtags and charity things that you can sort of get involved in, and you can publicise a lot of charity things. So there are, those sides of things that are quite positive, and obviously you can keep in touch with family that might live on the other side of the world. But overall, I do feel that, with younger people in particular, it has become a bit of a negative thing, and it's a big distraction. As I say, I catch quite a few students on their phones in lesson time. And it must be even worse at home because you haven't got your teacher nagging you to come off your phone. And so rather than getting on with your homework or whatever, you're probably messing around on social media and stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Do you use your phone in class?
No.
Sometimes.
How do you use your social media? Like what apps?
I have Instagram and Snapchat.
How often do you use social media in school or at home? What is the main use of your phone? Texting.
Socialising.
Do you think there should be more activity using phones in school?
Maybe.
Not really.
Does your phone distract you in class, like getting notifications?
Yes.
Do you think teachers have the right to confiscate your phones for the whole day or just a lesson?
Just a lesson.
How long have you worked here?
4 years, 4.5 years.
Have you noticed grades dropping over time working here, and do you think it's caused by the distraction of social media and their phones?
I think that students do get distracted by social stuff, but I think they always have done. But I do think the fact that they're on their phones and the phones are going off, I do also think that students almost become addicted to, it's almost not that it's not their fault, but I think they almost become, they're so used to checking, but also don't get any peace. So I think it's not just it's perhaps bad for their studies. I don't think it's actually bad for I don't think it's good for their mental health because they never get to switch off.
Have you noticed a lack of students' attention span due to the mobile phone use?
I think it's certain students, and I think it's at certain times. So I would say that maybe in my classes there might be 3 or 4 students who are always on their phones, and so I do think that impacts on their concentration, because if they're half listening and checking their phones, so maybe 10 times in the lesson. Not that my language, not that the lesson's that gripping, but there might be a key thing that they miss, and then they're like, oh, what's going on? This is boring, and then maybe get a bit distracted. But again, teenagers' minds are on a wealth of other things apart from Shakespeare and poetry. So I think you've got to be realistic.
Yeah. Do you think students should be able to use their phones for educational use in lessons?
I think it's a valuable resource, and also I think you've got to look at it pragmatically. You're not going to be able to get rid of phones, and the way that you get students to work is by having some kind of relationship with them. And if you're constantly nagging and saying negative stuff, you're going to erode that relationship. So I think, I don't like it, I don't think, but I think you've got to deal with what you've got. I mean, it is a useful tool, and if the students and they see that you're sort of reasonably fair, then your request to put your phone away and everything is perfectly reasonable, and they understand it. But I think the key thing for getting students to work is to have a fairly decent relationship with them, regardless of their phone or not.
Do you like the use of technology in school?
When it works, yeah. There's nothing worse than the computer not working, or the whiteboard and you can't get it to work, or the pen flying off. I mean, that can make you literally want to headbutt the wall. But when it works, it's really awesome. But I guess maybe that's to do with my own incompetence with computers rather than the actual technology. I'm sure if you're capable, it's brilliant.
Okay, thank you for your... Do you use your phone in class?
Yes.
Yes.
Occasionally.
How do you use social media? What apps do you use the most?
Snapchat and Instagram.
Yeah. Any apps that you can message your friends off of?
How often do you use social media in school or at home?
I don't use it at school too much.
Yeah,
I use it
At
at home
home.
more.
Yeah.
I would, but not much.
Because you're not with people that you want to talk to when you're at home. Get it?
What is the main use of your phone?
Messaging and keeping in contact.
And games.
Gaming.
Photos,
Clash
games,
Royale.
Clash Royale, yeah, Clash Royale.
Do you think you should be able to use your phones more in school?
I do.
Yeah.
We have them for a reason.
Because there is
We don't get
a
them
lot
free.
on the internet that can help certain people.
Yeah, and
Learn
technology is
better.
developing.
Do you think your phone distracts you in class?
No.
No, it's on silent.
Mine's powered off or something.
Do you think that teachers have the right to confiscate your phones for the whole day, or just the lesson, or not at all?
Just not at all. I think if we're on it and it's distracting us, then just the lesson.
I don't think we should at all.
Okay, thank you for your time.